Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I've actually been mucking around with my phone to try and work out something a little bit more successful than last time's disaster. So here we are. I think that's working okay. Sorry for the short notice for everyone. I only decided to do this early this morning after mucking around with some cards yesterday and deciding that I did have some things to show people today, and I hadn't done my video this week. So anyway, on with the video. I just want to show you a couple of things before we get started. Today's video will be featuring the, mostly featuring the snowfall framelits from the latest Snowflake Showcase. These products are actually available to customers from the 1st of November to the 30th of November. But as a demonstrator we get a pre-sale. So if you want to join my team, you can get a look at these products early as well, or just hang out till the 1st of November. So that's the framelits. I'll show you those in a minute. It also comes with a really nice Happiness Surrounds stamp set. There's also available. I have actually ordered the rest of the set, but for some reason they came in separate orders, so this is the only stamp set I have at the moment. But it's bought out in the Snowflake in the Christmas special, but it's actually got lots of you know, non-Christmassy designs and sentiments. So that's a all-rounder. So I was really happy to get hold of that one. Another thing we're going to be using today is the Big Shot embossing platform. Embossing mats. I haven't used these a lot, but I found them particularly effective for the card that we're looking at today. Hi everybody, hi Wendy, thanks for sharing. So we're having a look at that as well. I'll give that a bit of a whirl for you. And I've also used or featured this this beautiful Joyous Noel specialty paper, which I'll pop through and show you the beautiful gold embossed and really effective Christmas paper in this one. So okay, let's have a bit of a start. What I'm going to do today is was having a bit of a play yesterday, and I came up with this card. This card here, and if you can see, this is a sort of embossed snowflake on the front of it. Hopefully you can see that. I'll get it nice and close. Give it time to focus. Anyway, I did it and I wasn't really very happy with it. I sort of thought it was a bit busy, a bit too much going on. So I wondered how I could do it differently, and the solution I'll show you today. So bear with me, I'll move the camera down. Hopefully it won't be as disastrous as last time, but bear with me. So I'll get that in position, hopefully it won't come off in my hand. A bit more. There we are, that looks pretty good. Anyway, we'll work in this surface anyway. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be doing this variation of this little card here. Just move my mat over so I'm central. This little card here, and I have actually cut all the bits separately anyway, so here we go. So what I thought was, when I first looked at what I'd created here, was that the background was a bit busy. I liked the card itself, but with a less busy background. Thankfully, this beautiful snowflake paper with the Merry Merlot and the white and the grey comes, or if you flip it over, it's got one that's fundamentally the same, but it's plain. It's just got the snowflakes and the Merry Merlot. So I thought, well, that gives me what I want as far as a more simple background. So basically what I've got there to make this one is fairly standard card base. I've cut this one, that'll be a piece of paper probably 8 long and 5.5 wide, scoring it at 4. So you've got a 4 by 5.5 card base. I've got a piece of Whisper White, which is cut to 1/2 inch smaller on both angles. So that one would be, it would be 1/2 inch, that would be 3.5 by 5, yeah, actually I'll put all the measurements on my blog anyway, so don't worry too much about that. And the piece of the paper is actually then the same again, sort of 1/2 inch smaller all round, so you've got the layer there. So I thought that was really nice. Then what, obviously, from the other card, and this is from the, if you have a look at the framelets, I'll probably show you those. We've got lots and lots and lots of snowflakes there, but not just that, we've actually got flowers and blooms and sprigs, and then you've actually got actual flowers. Here we are, we've got that one. That's actually a flower, and so you could actually use that for all year round. We've got a beautiful, glorious big snowflake there, and actually the smaller snowflakes, which I'll show you soon, actually layer on top for that sort of 3D effect. And we've got small ones, really small ones there as well. So hi Tanya, thanks for coming along. Sorry for the short notice. So that's really, I mean, that's a set that you could use all year round. So we've got the flowers, we've got this beautiful spray which I've actually used on this card just to give it a bit of an effect. Oh, and there's a nice big flower there as well. So, you know, you could layer, if you sort of think of that as a floral background, you could layer flowers on top of that for the same sort of effect, but a non-snowflake sort of theme. Here in Australia we don't have snow at Christmas anyway, although sometimes in Hobart we do, but so that's sort of a really all-round sort of little set there. So anyway, so on this card I have actually taken some gold foil, gold sheet, and I've cut out gold of this beautiful spray here. So that's it there. I've also cut out a circle of just Whisper White. I'd say that's about 2 inches or 5 centimetres across, and the corresponding scalloped circle to sit underneath it, also in gold. So that's the main parts of this card. So I'll just get rid of the framelets or the thinlets. Okay, so this piece here is what I'm actually going to do the embossing on, and I've actually used, if I can find it, I've used this snowflake to actually emboss that beautiful pattern. It's more of a feel of a snowflake than an actual snowflake itself, which I think is quite nice. So for this we use our Big Shot, and we use the Big Shot embossing mats. So the one thing I can advise you when you buy the embossing mats is never throw away the instructions, because if you've got a memory like me, you need to be reminded every time you get it out as to how to make the sandwich. So with these silicone plates that you get with this, you can actually, rather than cut your dies, you actually can emboss them. And then another configuration, you can actually cut and emboss, so it'll do a mixture of both. But this time I'm just going to purely emboss. So I'll bring the Big Shot over, move the things out of the way. I just want that and that, put those there. Okay, so if I remember rightly from when I was practicing yesterday, and I did quite a lot of it yesterday, you do need to have a bit of an experiment with this. Don't ever do your first one as hoping it to be your last. Well, that's what I found anyway. Just have a bit of an experiment to see what combinations give you the right effect. So to do what I wanted to do, and I've got the old platform with the attached plates, you actually reduce it, for that effect, what I've done there, you reduce it down to the embossing sheet, layer 1, put yourself on a cutting plate, then you put your die with the cutting edge up, then your paper, so you can sort of try and centre that. Thankfully this one fits pretty snug, so I know I'm going to be pretty much on centre. Then, without trying to move everything, you use the blue mat. This is the thinner of the two mats. And then the white cutting mat, I suppose you'd call it, but the one that comes with the set. So if I've done all that correctly, it should go through, and it feels like it's not doing very much because it hasn't got that cutting happening, but believe me, it is. Bit of a surprise. Unwrapping the Prezi. Oh, there we are. Oh, slightly off. So what I would normally do is probably I'd stick that on with some masking tape to put it in the right spot. As you can see, I'm slightly off center, but I won't let that stop me. It's not too bad. Okay, so I'll pop all that away. So that's really great. You can actually do all your dies that way. So imagine you've just basically doubled what you can do with your dies. Some of the nice big intricate ones. I did actually have one here. Where did I put it? One here that I did yesterday, but was slightly too big for my card. This one here is actually the larger of the snowflakes. Which I've lost. Here it is. So this larger circle is actually the same deal, but done with the larger of the snowflakes. So obviously the sandwich includes that rather than the smaller of the two. So I think that's quite spectacular. You could then actually layer that up with the other snowflakes from the pack as well. So I might use that for something, although it wasn't what I wanted at the time. Okay, so here we have our embossed snowflake there. Just pop everything aside. Oh. So the rest of this one's fairly easy, as you can probably work out. The embossed snowflake goes on the gold circle, and keep in mind this time we're not using the snowflake side, the colourful side of the paper. We're using the more monocolour one, so that's the other side of that. I then have basically just put this sprig underneath, but it wasn't actually long enough for what I wanted, and it sort of, yeah, I wanted more of a curl that went the whole length of the card, so I cheated a little bit. Actually just cut it in half because I was going to be covering it up anyway. I've put that sort of nice and hard up against that corner, and I actually, because I wanted it to sort of be a continuous curl, I actually trimmed that little stalk off, just to neaten it up, so, and sort of put that there. So then you can see we've got the spray of snow, the flurry of snowflakes that actually goes the whole length of the card. I'll just grab some glue. Oh, collapse in the background. Just watching the... Oh, hi Chrissy. Thanks for... Oh, have I said that already? Chrissy and Wendy. Yeah, thanks guys. Oh, Tracy. Hello. Welcome aboard. Nice of you to come along. Watching me make a fool of myself. Anyway, so there we have the snowflake on the gold. What I might do is actually just put some dots on here just to attach it at the major points. Not too much, or we'll make a mess of ourselves, which wouldn't be the first time. That one down there. And down there. Try to not do so much glue. I mean, they are cards. They don't have to go to the moon and back. We do like them to stay in one piece, but I tend to want to make them last forever. And basically, you know, in all realisticness, it is actually going to be treasured, but it doesn't have to hold up to great torture. Okay, so I'm going to use then to put this snowflake, I used our dimensionals. Hey Trace, have you got boys home today? Mine's off at Saul's house. I think, I'm not sure he's been with them. I assume he is. Thanks, Wendy. Yes, I am. You know, we have ideas sometimes, don't we, that aren't somebody else's, but hopefully don't claim them as our own too much. Okay, so that's fine. I might glue that down first. Seems such a shame to glue that side down because it's glorious paper, but we'll use it next. Just wait and see. I've got those papers mixed up. Hold on here for a second. I think that's my inside panel, not my outside panel. Yes, that makes more sense. That panel was far too big. I only wanted the slightest hint of white, not the huge amount of white that that one had. Okay, that's better. That's why my measurements were off before. And put this one on. Oh, turn myself off. And then this one on here. Even as I can. Make sure I've opened it the right way. How many of us have actually ended up decorating something and realised you've decorated it back to front? I hate that. And I think that's probably one of the errors that you can't overdo with a bead or a jewel or a ribbon. I think once you've done that, you've done it. Okay, so I'll just position my snowflake over there. Yeah, no, I like that better. I don't know what you guys think. I thought this was too much, too busy, but I think I like it actually with the plainer background. I think it highlights the simplicity better. So yeah, Wendy, I think it's just into the garbage bin when that happens, or use the bits for something else. It's terrible. Yeah, so any thoughts? What do people like best? The busy one or the plainer one? I'll do the inside anyway. So, do this one. So the inside panel, as I said, was very weird. My order seems to have got separated, so I got the Happiness Surrounds stamps rather than the whole lot. So what I thought, you can tell it's fresh, never been opened. What I thought I might do is put this one inside and a block. I didn't rehearse this bit, so we're playing a bit blind. What I thought I'd do is get my Merry Merlot here. So this is our, oh gosh, guys, my groceries have come. I knew they'd come while I was on. They're early. Oh, poop. Anyway, I'll give you a few minutes to get the groceries out of the van, and then I'm going to have to go and come back later. Anyway, damn. So what I thought I'd do is just ink that up with the Merry Merlot. We know how rich it is, so I thought I'd just print it, sort of stamp it off and put it there in the corner. Yeah, that's sort of nice. And then this little, don't be quick, grocery man, please. And this little one here, I thought I would actually do in black. I don't know about this, we'll see. This was just in my head. You know how things look like a good idea when you're doing them in your head, in bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. I wonder whether I should stamp that off as well. Yes, I think so. And then move up a little bit. I've worked my way down. And then line that up with the right parts of that. Not sure which are the right parts. Anyway, we'll go that way. There. Oh yeah. Oh, got a splodge. Anyway, that's all right. We can turn it over. Yeah, I thought that was quite nice. So I'll just pop that in the inside of the card there. Unfortunately, this set doesn't have any, it's so non-Christmassy, there's no Christmas ones there, so I have to borrow a Merry Christmas from This is from the half full set, which I thought the nice flourish on the Merry Christmas would actually suit this one. And got black on my hands, that's right. Man coming with the groceries has thrown me. Oh, and he's quick too. Anyway, so I thought I would just pop that Merry Christmas there. Cool, so forgive the splodge. I do have another one to do, but I'm going to have to come back once I've unpacked the grocery man. So I'll see you guys in a short while. Thank you. Bye.